Hello everyone, welcome back to the course of Core Java, and today in our lesson number 16 we are going to learn about the static keyword in Java. So today we are going to learn about the topics like what is metaspace, and you may have wondered before like why the main method is always static and some static block, static method, and also static method which can be referenced using class. And at last we'll see how a static variable behaves with respect to a object, right? So what is metaspace, right? So whenever a object is instantiated, that means a address is created, right? An address to the heap memory is created because a heap memory is allocated to the object. But whenever a class is loaded for the first time, it is loaded in the metaspace. So why I'm suddenly talking about metaspace, how it fits in the static keyword? That is because static keyword tells the compiler that the the not the instance that this block of code, right, block of code or variable need not be instantiated, right, need not be instantiated. So by this logic, the static keyword, whatever the variable or the method that is declared with the static keyword, has its metadata stored in the metaspace. That means whenever we need to call that variable or we need to call that method, we do not have to instantiate an object to call them, right? That we have already seen in our lesson where we learned about method. In that I simply declared them static, right? That's why we were able to call them without having to learn the how to declare objects, right? Now there may be another question in your mind, that why the main method is always static. Let's come to the Eclipse. As you see, the main method is always static, right? That is because it tells the compiler that it need not be instantiated, as I said before. And because of this it allows us to run the main method without having to create an object of this class, right? So when we started our course, we did not start with objects, right? We did not start with objects. We simply run our code, but the method was always inside the class, right? The main method was always inside the class and we are able to run this. Why? That is because of this static keyword. That means the main method need not be instantiated to be called, right? Coming to our next topic, we will learn about static block and static method. You have already seen static method, but what are static block? Okay, yeah, another thing I forgot to write. What about static variables, right? Static variables. So in Java, you can declare any variable as static. Okay, so by declaring it as static ensures that you can use it without having to call a object, without having to instantiate a object, that we already said, right? We'll have a better understanding of it with our next subtopic that we'll learn in later in this lesson. But before that, let's check what is static block. So in static block, I can simply write a into 10, right? And let's print something. Let's print like inside the static block, and then we'll print main method starts, right? So this is a static block. See, we do not have a method like usually when we are using this curly braces, we have a method name associated with it, but here it's just a block of code and we are using the static keyword. Right now an error is being thrown, right? An error is being thrown because b is not static. Okay, I'll just make it static. So you know why this error was thrown? That is because static block can only access a static variable, right? It cannot access any variable that is not static. It has to be static to be able to access it, right? So now, to help you understand what is actually going on, right, what I mean is, to understand how the flow works is that whenever the class is loaded into the JVM, that is the Java Virtual Machine, in that the class is loaded in the memory, right, in the meta space. At that time, at first our static variable is defined like a equal to 10 and b won't have any value. But you have always noticed that main method is called at the very beginning whenever we run a class. But when we use a static block, then JVM will run this static block first, right? It will run the static block first. We'll see when we run this, but before that I will also want to tell you about the static method. You already know about it. We can declare one method and name it static, then we can call it without having to instantiate any object. So that's why I'm simply going to run it like method. It will take some argument, let's say 20, right? Let's see what happens when we run this. If we run this, as I said, right, the flow, first the variables are defined, then the static is called first, and then the main method starts, right? The main method starts, then we called another method inside the main method, and there we got the value like x, we passed 20, a was defined earlier as 10, and b will be whatever calculation logic operator we used in the static block. That means b became 100, right? So that is how your static block, static variable, and static method works. Coming to our next subtopic, that is how a static method can be used with a class, right? We have already seen how static method can be called right inside the main method, but there is another way of calling it. Let's say, what about a method that is not part of our main class? It can be inside another class, namely test, right? I've already written a little bit of the code where I defined one test class. It will have a variable a equal to 10, and it has a method, right? It has a method print var. It is static and it will print the value of a, right? What I meant by using a method with respect to static method with respect to a class is that, as you can see earlier, you have seen whenever we need to call a method of a class not part of the main class, any other class, then we had to instantiate a object. But the key takeaway of static keyword is that we do not have to instantiate. So in that case, what do we need to do? We can simply refer to that method using the class name itself. See, we are not declaring any object, we are just using the class name, and we are successfully able to call this method, right? Even I'll show you here, from main, right, from main value of a, as I said, everything that is static need not be instantiated. We'll use the class name and then dot a, simple as that. What happens when you run this, right? A equal to 10, that is from here it's calling this print var method, and then from main we are able to access the static variable as well. No need of instantiating any object. All right, so hope you understood how you can use the class itself to call static method, and lastly we'll see how object behaves with a static variable, right? To understand that, I already have a sample main class, then I have a test class object, sorry, test class, a class name, right? Okay, so inside that I have a variable namely count, and it is static. Then we have a method, it's not static like the earlier example, it's simple normal variable, right? So obviously to call this method I need to instantiate an object. Let's say test class t1 equal to new, right? Test class, done. Then I will have another object t2 equal to new test class, like this, right? Let's say t1 dot counting, okay, t2 dot counting, okay, right? Simply I'll print it like yeah, t1 equal to, sorry, from t1 we have t1 dot count will get one value, right? Then from here we'll have t2 will print the value of t2, right? Similarly I will copy it after the t2 count happens. So once we run this class, run this program, I will explain the logic behind it, right? You see, there is a class, there is a static variable count equal to 0, right? We declared two objects t1 and t2, right? At first we run the method from t1, right? We run the method from t1, and when we print the value of both t1 count and t2 count, we see both are 1. Whereas our understanding is that whenever a object is declared, instantiated, it would have gotten the variable, like the defined value of the variable at first. That means t1 would have been 0 and t2 would have been 0 as well, and when we call t1 count inc, it would have only changed the count value of t1, right? But here we notice that both t1 count and t2 count is showing as 1. Why is that? That is because we declared it as static. That means whenever a variable is static, then only one instance of it is mentioned, that only one instance of it is maintained, right? So for both object t1, no matter how many object, it may be 2 or 100 or whatever, only one instance of this count variable will be maintained, and it will be shared among all those objects. Where object will be maintained in heap memory, this count variable will be part of the class itself, right? It won't be meant, it will not have a separate allocation in the heap memory. So you see here, when I called the count means the count increment method from t2 again, both the value of t1 and t2 changed, right? So whatever method we call, it will affect the count variable, right? That's why for both t1 and t2 the variable of count changed even if we call any of the method, means we call the method from any of the objects. So hope you understand what is static keyword, right? So to sum it up in one line, static keyword helps you in calling any block of code or method without having to instantiate any object. And another important thing is that it will be maintained in the meta space, right? So one concept, most important concept with respect to object, is that the static variable will be shared amongst the object, right? So if you have any doubt regarding what we learned today, feel free to comment below and we will try to clear all your doubts. So don't forget to like and share with your friends, whoever is interested in learning about Java, and do subscribe to the channel for getting notified about more such videos. Thank you.